Justice Caucus, thank you very much for your endorsement. We are so happy to be here. My name is Bridget Mary McCormick, and I am honored to be standing next to Judge Connie Kelly and Judge Sheila Johnson. We are the three Supremes. And we're going to take back the Michigan Supreme Court in November. I'm the associate dean and a law professor at the University of Michigan Law School, and in that role, I run the clinical programs where we represent real people with real problems throughout this state in all of the courts, the state courts, the appellate courts, and even the Michigan Supreme Court. And in doing that work, in working for Michigan families and protecting children, we have seen that the justice system isn't perfect. We can improve it. We know how we can improve it. We know where we can improve it. And that perspective, which I will carry with me to the Michigan Supreme Court, will make sure that we have a Michigan Supreme Court that's committed to fairness, that's committed to integrity, and that's committed to our families. We know we can't do it without you, and we know you, this caucus in particular, does the very hard legwork of winning Supreme Court races. We intend to win this year. Judge Kelly, Judge Johnson, and myself are going to work tirelessly from now until November, and we want you to help us do that. And we are grateful for your support. Thank you very much.
Remember me from my candidacy back in 2010, and this year I am your endorsed candidate for one of those spots on the Michigan Supreme Court slate. Thank you. As you all know, and I know I'm preaching to the choir, the Michigan Supreme Court over the past several years has done abominational justice. As a matter of fact, you know how they've limited rights, you know how they fail to follow precedent, and you know how they don't have the interest of individuals and families at heart. Now it's time for us to change that, and we are your ticket to do so. I'm honored to be on this ticket with Judge Kelly and as well as with Bridget McCormick, because this is a historical moment. We have three strong women who are dedicated to the community. We're experienced, we're dedicated to justice, individual rights, and those are all the qualities that you need to have with your justices on the Michigan Supreme Court. Gone are the days that decisions will be made without the interest of the community in mind. Gone are the days that decisions will be made only with the interest of special interest in corporations. We, as a ticket together, are experienced. We've got probably over 50 years of experience between us. I, for one, before at least 50 years, because I know I've been out there at least about almost 30 years, 28 years, practicing, representing people in the community first, and then from the perspective of doing justice. So I'm uniquely balanced from that perspective. I represented, before I got on the bench, Michigan families. I represented individual women who couldn't afford to have representation, and I protected them in certain circumstances where they were in danger with their children. I also represented children's interests in juvenile court, protecting their rights as a lawyer. I understand what Michigan families need, and I've been tough on crime, and I've also crafted programs in order to try to focus on youth and to deter criminal activity at its inception. I know what needs to be done, and as your justice on the Michigan Supreme Court, I pledge to continue to do the work with the people of the state of Michigan in mind. And so I urge you all to get out and do that groundwork as you've always done before, and to help us, because we will need your help. We will work tirelessly throughout the state of Michigan, just as I did before, just as I know Bridget and Connie have been doing now. But we can't do it alone. We need you to be fired up and vote for the Supremes, but I'm not going to.
I've been a lawyer since 1981. I have 30 years, you have 28. So we have 78 years of experience together on this ticket as lawyers and judges. I'm currently a Wayne County Circuit Court, and before I was elected to that position in 2008, I was a trial lawyer for 27 years. I spent my career fighting for people, fighting for working people. I represented people who were wrongly discharged from their jobs, who were discriminated against on the basis of age, race, sex. I represented women who were treated unequally in the workplace. I supported them in their quest for equal pay for equal work. I represented women who were victims of sexual discrimination, and so I understand the issues that face people, working people today. As a circuit court judge, I'm in the family division. I spend every single day protecting families and children. And we want to take our passion for justice to the Michigan Supreme Court. I think Judge Johnson is right. This is an historic ticket, and it's going to be an historic year. Right now, President Obama is leading Mitt Romney by 18 points in Michigan. And Senator Stabenow is leading Pete Hoekstra by 21 points in Michigan. We know that those numbers are going to tighten as November gets closer. We know as activists that that always happens. But this is a year where we can elect 3 Democratic women for the first time in the history of this state to the Michigan Supreme Court. We have a powerful ticket here, and we are going to work hard together to make sure we get there. So we hope we can count on your support from now until November. Thank you. Vote for 3.